I have slides here with pictures and reflection questions. So maybe we'll just start those and we'll see where we get. And they're all celebratory. I don't know what time is it. Yeah. So we started in Denver. And there's Crystal talking about learning, and Carol listening to cute Charlie Keene, or however you say his name. And there they are together. I'm sorry Carol's not here. Carol was talking about, remember he did that respect versus dignity? Not versus, right? Was it respect and dignity? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she had something at the end that she talked about. And then we've got Caitlin talking about outcomes. And there's a good shot, I thought, of everybody.
Yeah.
A lot of
Todd, look at Todd.
I know, there's Todd back there with a smile on his face.
I don't recognize some of these people.
Okay, so who don't you recognize?
This gal right in front of Todd?
Right in front. Oh, she is our evaluator. That's Denise.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the woman in the orange, I can't remember her name.
That's Sherry.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Right? You're welcome. Yeah. And Lois and Claire and Anne. Who's behind Sherry? Next to Anne. I can't see. Oh, that's Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's the group. And then doing the World Cafe, and there's Jay and Vicky.
Yeah, there's Vicky. There's Lois.
And and Lois. And is that you standing up, Laura?
That's me.
I don't have
you,
hair.
Abby?
That's me,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. That's Abby from the back.
Oh, yeah, because her hair. I remember it was
right.
lovely color.
I don't remember that, but now we have a proof of it. And then somebody posted this, and I really liked it, so there it is. And now I want to know, what's your favorite story from Denver, or a favorite story from Denver?
This is just going to make me laugh.
Well,
like a favorite story related to when we were in the meetings or when we weren't in the meetings?
Doesn't matter. Any story from Denver.
Well, my favorite story was literally riding the elevator to every floor to figure out what every floor was, because that was fun.
Oh,
but I really
everybody did that.
Yeah, that was a cool hotel.
It was a cool hotel. Other favorite stories from Denver?
Connecting with Allison and Bailey, and Jay was there. The first night, we stayed up and played Big Connect 4 and drank wine.
I don't think I knew that.
That's how we became the bestest of friends, Bailey, Allison, and I.
So where did you do that? Oh, so there was Connect 4. Was that
there was
the
a
floors?
floor.
Oh,
yeah, and it was
maybe
actually
I did know this.
a weird floor, like almost adjacent to our meeting room, something like that.
Just below it.
Yeah, it was hidden for sure. It also had these spinning tiles on the wall that you could change colors. Oh, it was
that
so
was
good.
a weird hotel. I'm sorry. It was cool, but it was weird. That's true. What else? Other favorite stories from Denver? With or without? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm with Abby. That was really, one of my favorite parts too. But I don't know. There's just kind of an environment that this project gives you, and I don't feel like you get that environment anywhere else. And I feel like that kind of started in Denver. Just that everyone has the same goal and are super supportive. And I just now even in other kind of continuing education projects or things like that, I just don't think you get the same environment and the same feeling that this project has given starting.
I totally agree with that.
Everyone's
and I think the World Cafe was a really cool culmination of that, where everyone's got this energy toward this same goal, and everyone's wheels are turning in really cool ways.
Yeah, the World Cafe is the one thing we've done the same every year in different places. So the first year we did it at the very beginning. The second year we did it at the end, right? It was like the end of the first day or the second day?
I can't remember.
And then the third year we did it sort of in the middle of, we did it at the end of the morning of the first day. but I think it's always worked. It's been fascinating. That was Sandra Hughes Hassel's idea. Other Denver stories? It snowed.
Cookies. Oh my gosh, they gave you cookies. Remember those cookies?
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you
checked
in, you got a
they
warm
gave you these
cookie.
yummy cookies.
Those were fabulous.
Now I want cookies.
I got on the last flight out of Denver that night before the storm hit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Another fun memory, I picked up Nisa and Mandy from the airport. And those two, I mean, the three of us together, as we were first getting to know each other, it was obvious that we were different, but it was so cool to hear the ideas. And that's where I learned about Will It Waffle. Have you heard of this program idea?
No.
Yeah, it's called Will It Waffle, ? And you bring all these waffle makers and you just put food in there and you ask, will it waffle?
So like peas? Do you put peas in there?
They didn't mention
what do you mean by food?
They did like candies and cinnamon rolls and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
make a
no one
mess of
mentioned
those waffles.
peas.
That sounds like a Nisa thing.
It was totally Nisa.
That's
Yeah.
really
And
funny.
Mandy at that point definitely already had her mind made up about partnering with herself, even before the conference.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How things grow and change and are. All right. So then there is everybody. Yay, everybody in Denver. It's the crew. There's this great, I just picked one, but there's this great photo where you're all just sort of like moving around. I will post that one. But you're all just like moving around. Nobody's in place. Laura's trying to get everybody in place because that's what Laura always does. For all 3 years, Laura, that's been your job, like making sure all the
You guys laugh now about that, but one day we're going to be like, where's Laura to get us all together for a group picture?
Yeah.
True. The dodge. So, and this one has the dodgeballs in it. So people holding them. Abby, you've got a dodgeball. Holly's got a dodgeball. Todd
Heather.
is leaning in. Heather's got a dodgeball. I know. It's pretty fun.
That is fun to see everybody.
Yeah. The first year picture, we were on stairs.
I remember that.
Right, Laura? Yeah, we were on those stairs. I don't remember what we did for this year. I know we
were on the side.
We were in the room.
Yeah.
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 I don't remember it. I just know Mega took it, right? All right, so that's everybody in Denver. And then from Denver, you spread throughout the country. There you are. Everybody, please. It's hard to, I couldn't make it big, but I wanted to get everybody in. There's everybody around the country. And then what's the thing you learned throughout this whole project that you keep coming back to? Like, is there something you learned either in Denver or over the year that you keep thinking about or keep using or keep whatever? Anybody?
You can link skills to any program.
Expand on that.
Well, it just seems like ever since Denver, my brain keeps wanting to say, okay, well, we're going to do this program anyway. How can we either talk about the social emotional skills, or how can we just sneak them in and not talk about it? What skills is it going to develop, even if we don't focus on it?
Anybody else?
I guess when I was,
go ahead, Vicki. No.
I guess when I was running into different problems, trying to really get it going, don't remember who said it, but somebody had said, you can always change. There's no set plan. You can always go to plan B. You can go back and start over. And so that just kind of sounded and kept me going, because I knew there was no right or wrong answer to this. You just work till you got it right.
Or not.
Or not even.
Right. There's maybe never a right.
Right.
Yeah. And that was something Carol shared a lot, but it's an experiment and it's okay. Failure's okay. It's an experiment.
Other things that keep coming back?
Well, just the new ideas that are shared and asking questions, because maybe something you've never even thought of, just like when she just mentioned that wafflet. I mean, we've never even heard of that before. I mean, just new things.
Do you have examples, Claire?
Well, you know, like we created a future board in our library for careers, you know, and different careers. And when we had kids put why they wanted to be this and what, and talk to them about it, and then brought a speaker in. And we've never had a future board before. And just new, you know, just new techniques or something new to try at your library, because we kind of get in the habit of doing the same thing over and over again, and, you know, just something new.
Cool. Who else?
I always come back to, I've found myself being, I guess, more mindful and taking steps back and looking in programs and looking in on what I'm doing, and kind of looking at it as more of, is what we're doing what needs to be done? And the whole, who am I missing? You know, I'm always going to come back to Carol saying, who am I missing? And not only the participants, not only who the program's geared towards, like the teens, but also businesses and community partners. Who am I missing? So, and I think I come back to that. That's a question we can constantly ask ourselves, because our communities are constantly changing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do that too. I'm always like thinking about, if I walk around, when I walk around Seattle, I look at it through those eyes, like things like I haven't noticed before, or that I should be thinking about, who I need to talk to, all of that. It's awesome. Anything else?
It's hard.
Oh, it is hard. Go ahead.
There's just so much, and I mean, I've learned, especially since we didn't really have any teen programs, that just how to start building those relationships, and how to go out in the community and say that this is, you know, something that is important to us. You know, how do we get it done? And engaging with teens and talking to them about what they like to do, and what their concerns are, you know, as far as the community, what they want to see in the community, and seeing how we can even help provide that through programming.
Yeah, giving them the chance to have it. I can't think what the word is. There's a word that's not coming to me.
Well, and even the connected learning piece with the, you know, we're even talking about how maybe some of our older teens, like the 12th and 11th graders that go through this program, our program, reaching out to them and asking if they don't want to kind of be a focus group or help kind of plan that 2020 year in what they think that teens or middle schoolers might be interested in learning about, or what they wish they would have learned about when they were in middle school, and kind of taking those older teens that are signed up for these programs and having them help us, and how it all helps everyone involved.
Right. Absolutely. Which is, there's a project in Providence, Rhode Island that I work with, and they have a summer youth employment program for teens at the library. And the work of the teens is actually not what people would think. They learn marketing skills and research skills. They get hired to actually learn about Providence and Rhode Island, learn how to make a pitch and do marketing, present a pitch, get feedback. And so the whole experience is not even they're getting paid for it, but it's all about what they learn and how about something they're interested in. And they don't think of it as work. It's really, and we keep talking about, well, is that a bad thing that they don't think of this is work, or should it, right? Like, do we want teens to feel like they're working when they're working, or is it okay that they're just like learning and having a good time?
I think it's good to have that balance. Because
Yeah.
there's some days I have to do things I don't want to do, but then there are other days I think I have the greatest job in the world.
Yeah.
And it might be good for them to know that they're good at a job skill and actually thinking of it as a job skill, so they can market themselves that way when they need to. Even if really it's something they're loving to do.
Mm-hmm. It actually keeps me thinking about that report, Allison, that I know you read because you brought it up last week, I think, the Seattle Economic Development Report on job readiness, career awareness. And I keep thinking about that because that's what that is, right? That's career awareness, not necessarily job readiness, right? Because they're like aware of this and they're having a good time and they're learning about marketing and their city and all that stuff, but they're not necessarily, then you have to figure out how are they going to take those skills to an actual job. Hello, Mandy. I think you're here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. We're just talking about stuff. Slides. So we were talking about what we've learned, what people have learned over this time, over the last year, and things you keep thinking about. To put you on the spot, anything you would like to add to our conversation so far? Something you've learned?
Oh, you're gonna have to give me a minute. I'm homesick today, so my brain's not awake yet. But give me a minute.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going through the slides, and when you think, okay, so this is. Does anybody know what this is?
A word
cloud
from.
I can't remember who posted it on the Google Drive.
It's and Cardboard Confessions, and it's, oh my gosh, I want to say Mitch Resnick, but that's not the name of the person or the person who posted it. And oh wait, I can tell you because I have all these. But it's Cardboard Confessions, and it's the program that asks different questions of youth. Vicki, it's not you. No, who is it? Questions. Well, it's an adult. It's in a book for.
Was it
adult.
Carol?
Maybe it was Carol. I can look. And so some like interesting questions about life, and these are some of the answers in the word cloud, things that are important to them in life.
Yes, this was like my group when we had Mitch Reed.
That's it. I kept thinking Mitch Resnick, but it's Mitch Reed.
No, Mitch Reed.
Yep.
And they had to all say 3 things that they felt important in their life. And Ortonville's mascot is the Trojan. And so then he used everybody's words and made a Trojan out of it.
Cool. Yeah. So, and I went through the HQ yesterday, the COP, and you actually also, Abby, I'm pointing at you, Abby. You did a word cloud post, right? You did something about creating word clouds. Yeah.
After this one, I remembered that I had just barely seen a how-to make any shape. And so I think that's what I posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I have a little section about things people created and posted. So that's Vicki, and this is
must be Abby.
It is Abby.
It was me.
Abby,
that was so exciting.
Were you in that balloon?
I was not in that balloon. But we did do a hot air balloon fundraiser. Our TAB kids did, and that helped us raise money for the program, which was awesome. And we actually still have extra money. Like, we raised so much more than we were expecting. Wow. But the newspaper asked what it would benefit, and it was an awesome way to talk about Future Ready. So we got this great article about it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Very cool. And then Ashley, this is you too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was for back to school night.
Yeah. That was early on, right?
No, it was just this September.
Really?
No, this August, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That seems ages ago to me. It's almost 2019, you realize.
I know, what is that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I can't wait for your life-size life. Like,
yeah, so Laura asked if she can borrow it, and I just haven't figured out how to make this possible yet. So Laura, maybe I should just connect with you offline on this, because I could easily share like a tabletop version with you, but I don't know how to share the big old game pieces and the life-size part.
I'll just need to look at the pictures, maybe is what it is. We have a grant for Adulting 101 class with some teens this year. And so I thought, ooh, I'm going to see if I can steal the famous life-size life game and use it with my children.
Well, I'll send you what I have to see what we can do. We'll connect on that.
I'm excited about it. It looks awesome.
Well, and you have the video of you lifing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So slow down the fast motion video and figure out how she did it. All right. Then I have a new question. Oh, with a typo. Do you know how many times I looked at this and I didn't realize there was a typo?
Well, you is our new nickname. It's our new nickname.
Okay. Whatever. So what do you think? What's the thing you did that you liked the most?
Started
outside
a tab.
of drinking wine and playing Connect 4 in Denver.
Yeah, I think getting a tab started up.
How come?
Because I feel so much more connected to the kids. It's not like I'm just bringing what I think is great. Like, they're offering their suggestions. Like, they're completely running winter reading right now, which is awesome.
It is awesome.
And it's fun. It's fun to hang out with them, get to know them.
Very cool. What else?
I changed my perspective, and I think that also all the staff at the library as well. Simply because teen services or teen programming isn't something we've ever offered, and also how we treat them and how we view their participation in the building. And also, it's gotten so bad that I am thinking about applying for a grant. We have a huge workroom, and we have a huge kitchen. There's no need for like these huge spaces when we can only have one. And I went to my the other day. I was like, maybe if we just turn this workroom into a teen room.
Oh.
They all thought, yeah, that's not a bad idea. We don't use half the junk in it. I mean, so it's kind of, I feel like my favorite thing is that we were all able to open our minds and realize that this is something we need to do, we want to do, and that we have to do it.
Yeah. Anybody else? You do have to do it.
We do have to do it.
Well, on that same line of thinking, we fell into the same situation here. We had a room that had served its purpose, but it wasn't being used anymore. And it was like, what are we doing? Why can't we move our teens in there? It took a lot of convincing, but it's been beneficial because we've redeveloped a useless space that at one time held a good purpose, and now we can repurpose it, kind of thing. So I get what you're saying with that. I think you made a smart move on it.
I like seeing all this. This is not what I did, but I like seeing all the stuff you all did. Like, it's amazing what you're all working on differently. I mean, looking at all the things that got posted, everybody's is different and supports the community. And I'm sorry, Abby, I'm just seeing that glitter bomb. Thank you. Supports the community and just is so cool. And even all the things you created. So like between Abby and here I'm going back this, and then this, and then I'll go forward for a second. Remember that, Allison?
I love that.
Yeah, so like everything is so you and so your communities. It's just amazing how it's also creative and interesting.
Isn't it so crazy that in the second year of this, you have such a wide variety of projects, because you feel like having the group environment and things like that might lend itself to, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm going to do exactly that thing, and then I'm going to be done.
Yeah. It would be so interesting to do side-by-side comparisons of all of the finished products.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the outcomes as well.
Yeah.
Assessment.
Yeah, eventually it would be awesome. Like once we have them, because Cohort 1, as I think I've said, sort of Laura and maybe 3 other people really finished their projects. So Cohort 2 will definitely be able to do that, and then Cohort 3 for sure we'll be able to look at that. But even some of the things that got posted between the cohorts, we can see similarities and differences. Definitely. Other things people like the most? I could also ask the least. What was the most painful part of this?
Sorry. What I think I liked the most was like when I was reaching out to schools and they would shut me down, and then I started rolling off what I was doing, and then they came back asking to be part of it.
That's awesome. What do you think happened? How did that happen?
They felt like they weren't included, and I was like, no, I went to you first. Yeah, there's the school, like one of our community colleges is like so mad at me because I didn't prioritize them, and I was like, no, they were the first people I contacted, and now they're mad. So
oh well.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can change that.
Yeah, I told them that we could keep on going if they wanted to, but they haven't gotten back to me.
So the success is that other people are jealous.
Want to get in on it.
Want to get in on it, exactly.
That happened too, which was like we asked one bank to be involved, and then the other bank asked us to get involved, which was awesome. And they ended up being, dare I say, more of an asset.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
So I also have Allison's career cruising, which I sort of remember having this conversation about the word cruising. Am I making that up?
No.
I like this picture though. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Did you have that professionally designed, or did you do that on Canva?
No, we have somebody. So the city works with a graphic designer, and she does a lot of the stuff for our main their events. And so she also does our summer reading program. She makes us a rack card like this that has a list of all of our summer reading programs with the theme. And so this is similar to what she does for that. And she's very, I think all in all for the design and then the printing of the cards, it's really usually, I think we got 500 printed, it's like $150.
Yeah. Wow, super reasonable.
That's not.
Yeah, that's great.
That's not that expensive. And considering the fact that we're really not spending any money on any of these programs, it's, when you grand scheme of things, it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have, and we went through a couple, we told her what we wanted. We told her we wanted the road and then it to look like they were going from place to place and some of the symbols and things like that. And we designed what we wanted the little people to look like and what colors we wanted. She came up with, she designed the whole thing for us. And
great.
It came out really, and yeah, I still am not in love with career cruising for teens, but we'll see how this year goes, and I might talk to some of the teams and see what they think. But I also feel like with this type of image, it lends itself, looks better versus the abstract of, whoa, it's career cruising for teens. So
no, it's a great image. It's awesome. I just think career cruising cracks me up. There's something about it that makes me feel like my youth. It makes me feel like because we used to cruise around a lot. So I think it's all about me. It's not necessarily anything to do with what you've got going on. And
so I wonder what that means to teens.
Yeah, right.
Especially that aren't driving.
Maybe don't ask them.
Yeah, you should definitely ask them. Or career surfing, right? Because
in the middle of Texas.
Yeah, but then like, yeah,
right.
We don't surf here. We tube.
They surf
the tube and river.
They surf the web.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
For my
that is true.
That's sort of old. Maybe that no one says that anymore.
That's probably us.
Yeah. Do people not say that anymore?
I haven't heard.
I think our age does.
I was in high school. We would cruise the strip, you know?
Right. Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with career cruising.
I think people still surf the web.
All right. Next survey you do. Ask that.
Yeah.
It could be a good crossword puzzle thing too.
I think Google's just become the new adjective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Everything is Google.
Yeah.
Even if they're not on Google.
You can do Google cruising, career Googling.
Well, then
it would
into the
trademark.
Right.
And they have to be on their device. To Google something, you're on your handset.
Google's an interesting company. We have Google in our community now.
Mm-hmm.
And I received a Christmas card from my friends at Google. It didn't have a return address for me to send one back.
Yeah. You can't. You cannot find an address of anything.
It's like, I just wanted to send you a cool Christmas. Yeah, so.
No.
It's
a very interesting culture. We have next, who's this?
I don't know the answer to that.
That was me again.
In this room. It's you again. I sort of figured out who was going to be here. Yep. And what is this?
This was our hospital administrator was part of our committee. And when we talked about possibly doing something career-wise with the students, he suggested something along that line, and they set up 6 different times for the kids to come up there with their parents. And I mean, there was no age limit. It was open to the public, and it gave them an opportunity to see what the different healthcare careers involve.
That's cool that you and Allison are having an aspect on that.
Yeah.
Well, the hospital is our biggest employer in our town.
I think that's pretty often the case.
Yeah.
It just, and they're always looking for help. And so we found it fun.
It's cool. Yeah. I like healthcare behind the scenes, because that is career-y, and also like you're getting a secret look at what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And all the explore.
Yeah.
So it's not learn or listen.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
And how they stitched up those hot dogs. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Right. I remember that. Right. That's really funny. Awesome. And then who's this? Someone else who's here.
Mine.
That's yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about this.
So I was just like trying to find a good template that would look cute. And we came up with this, and then I decided, well, first it was all in English, and I ended up going to the Department of Labor, and she's all like, how is this going to reach our Hispanic part of our community? And then she made me feel bad. So
good.
I linked with my friend, and she helped me. Like, I did most in Spanish, and she just corrected the right way to do it in Spanish. and then ended up putting the flyers everywhere. All are like where both families, low income families, more of like where people would end up going and actually trying to seek help. So we did it for like our labor. Well, they do like child services, stuff like that to tell them like the library is there, because we noticed that a lot of the schools, like we have like the Community Council of Idaho, the Labor Department, everyone does about the same thing, which we didn't realize till after. But the Department of Labor, they only advertise it through in their store, through their site, and so does the Community Council of Idaho. So a lot of people don't know about it. So I felt like I had more of an outreach going everywhere, saying we're here too if one of your clients can't make it to yours. So try to make it accessible.
That's awesome. Did you do this in Canva?
No, on PowerPoint.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. And then I know who this is and what it is, but I can't explain it, I realized. Does anybody know? So this is Todd, a poetry thing, but I don't know how it exactly worked. Something like, it almost seems like it's magnetic poetry-ish, because there's like little, I don't know what those are, and you can't see where I'm pointing.
Oh, I see in the background.
Yeah, like here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? But I don't know exactly, so I should have asked Todd. Or that's Todd. Now I have another question. It looks
like it's multi-generational.
Yeah, it is multi-generational. So I can't remember. No one remembers. And I didn't read the post. I just looked at the photos, so that wasn't useful. And I don't think it was his job fair thing. So,
I enlarged that, and it looks like your little stubs of tickets.
Oh, so it's not posted.
When I made it bigger, it looks like stubs of tickets.
So it's the files are named Poetry 1 and Poetry 2. So I don't know.
But it's got a different words on each one. I wonder if somehow they were given so many of these and they had to make a
poetry
poem
out of them. Yeah.
Out of them.
Have you guys ever done blackout poetry?
No, what's that?
That's so fun to do with teens. You can take discarded books or magazines or newspapers, and they select the words that they want to keep from the page, and then everything else gets blacked out. And they can make pictures in the blacking out, or they can just black it out.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's like finding poetry within articles. Or we get some good response on that with our youngins.
That's really cool. That could be social emotional.
You see which words they connect to.
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, we had them post them last year for April Poetry Month, and it was pretty cool to see. I've got a photo somewhere of.
Very cool. All right. Oops, I got to get rid of the. Oops, wait. But actually, I think anybody can do this. Do you see the little annotate thing?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, because somebody just cleared it from me. So where is it? It's
on the left.
Because I'm on my iPad, so it's different here. So
is it like Photoshop?
So do you see view options? No, it just says there's view options, right? That's where I see it.
I can't erase anyone else's.
And it's annotate. There's something that's annotate. You can, oops. Oh, right. This is writing. Okay, we're getting away from what the plan was.
We learned how to draw on Zoom and type on Zoom.
What did you learn over the past year?
Oh, man.
You don't mean to make it difficult.
Well, I learned that these kids need help. They need guidance and they want it. They're not aware of so many things that are out there to help them. And learning how to bring those items to them in an enjoyable way so they didn't have to feel like they were in school again after being in there all day. It was learning without realizing while they're having the fun. They're also learning things. And I guess I didn't realize how little the school teaches or covers these things for the students, even at an upper grade. It's not just middle school, it's even the upper grades.
I was surprised that so many people in the community wanted to see differences in adult preparedness.
Expand
And sometimes
that,
I would walk in on, sometimes I would walk in on conversations and they'd be talking about social skills, and it ended up being, well, both an awkward and great avenue for connecting with people. But yeah, it was like, as soon as we started talking about it, even though not everyone was eager to jump into creating a project, they were still eager to talk about the skills that were lacking, or it was obvious that there were gaps.
Interesting.
Have you not found that, Linda?
Yes. Well, what I find is people think they're doing it, but they're not. And I also find that people blame youth for not having skills as opposed to thinking about how do we help them, right? And maybe that's some of what you saw. But I hear people all the time saying, "Oh, well, teens, are disrespectful, or teens don't know how to do this, or teens." Well, guess what? Somebody's got to help them learn.
Right.
And so that's the thing that I find the most, is that people just don't think they have a role in it. That makes sense. Did you see that?
Yes, about they don't feel like they can help, or that they are taking away from. I don't know how to make that make sense.
Yeah.
They don't realize, that they could help in good or bad ways.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I find too that some people think, oh, they're 13, so they should be, they should have it all figured out or something, where even when you're 40, 50, 60, you might not have it all figured out. I know plenty of adults who don't know how to be socialize well. Yeah. Other things people learned?
That change is possible. It just takes a lot of work and time.
Yeah.
How to keep going and not be discouraged if you've got to step back and start over.
Which is what?
Have to practice that anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I think you just have to see the improvements for what they are. Just like Allison said, you see the changes, even if they are tiny at first, even if it's taking a really long time, you just see the differences and keep pushing.
Yeah.
The outcomes have less to do with numbers.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, me too. Not about the numbers. Well, at least not totally.
Yeah, I did reframe my end of month reports. So now we have to include numbers, but under every program, I'm now saying intended outcome in the way that we're trying to determine whether it was reached. And so I'm hoping that it's, because our numbers are not always big. Sometimes they are, but
not end all and be all.
Yeah.
All right, next I have, This is you again, Abby, right?
That was me. I didn't ever do it though. Did someone do it?
I don't know. I just found that you had posted it. I didn't think Todd has a bingo too. That
I still think it's an awesome idea.
Yeah, it is an awesome idea.
Yeah, we just brainstormed it, and then we weren't able to attend the conference or the fair because it was like a week in advance.
Yeah.
But I'd love to know how that works.
Other time. Yeah. And then this is Lois, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, and she's not here. But she has 3 different things. She has a poster, bookmarks, and a flyer about the Business Professionals of America and Future Ready. So that's pretty cool. And then this.
I like that Future Ready Schools tag.
I remember that one.
This one? Or this one?
I like the blue.
Oh, this one? Yeah.
Future Ready Schools.
Yeah.
This one was Nisa, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I see the Petoskey Library. Yep. And so this is 2-sided. I only did one side, but a brochure she did about the Future Ready work, which is sort of
I think this one was
awesome.
Canva as well.
Yeah, I think so too. It's really nice. And it matches the colors here. Yeah. And then I have to say that I think this has been the most popular item for this, all 3 years, right? This is Todd's bookmark that people keep telling me they use.
And Bailey, Bailey just used it.
Right.
And she actually used a different version of it last year too.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It is.
Yeah,
I feel like I need it.
Don't call it a dream. Call it a plan. Yeah. He needs to sell these babies. Or he can just give them to us for free, actually.
Well, he already did, basically. So.
Silly Todd.
So then I have one more question. What's next? And then I have one more.
I love that. I've got to figure out how to share life because people loved the idea.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to pack up and move, the life-size version. So I've got to figure that out and then make a tabletop version.
Tabletop version. That's good.
Could you do, here's a crazy idea. Could you do a video, not the fast motion, but took people through making.
How to make it?
Yeah.
Totally.
And then people could do it.
Yeah.
Right? And we could, if you wanted, we could even, we could use it for this project. And so I could help you figure out how to do, I mean, I know you know how to make video, but if you need anything, could definitely do that. That could be good. Laura, would that work? Would that help?
I think so. I mean, anything like that. I think that you put a lot of time into it, and I think it's going to be I think you should share it if you'd like. You know what could happen with it.
It Plus, wasn't super complicated, so.
Yeah, but a lot of people not that I don't have time to do it or couldn't make time, but I'm not really sure where I would start. So it's nice to see you've been able to focus on that project, and I guess you're kind of blessed in the sense of what you do at your job to be able to focus in on that to create it.
Right. I'm not managing anyone else.
Yeah.
And I did have some teen help, not as much as I was hoping for, but we're getting better about that in our department. So in our library. So I know that's possible.
You'll have to copyright it, Abby.
Yeah.
Life size life TM.
There you go.
Other things, what's next for people?
I'm going on after the first of the year, starting to bring in this year's 7th graders.
Cool.
To keep it going.
Yay.
And working with the 8th graders.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I've shared this, but my interactive book club partner actually made a presentation to the high school, and he's doing the interactive book club with the freshmen this year, and next year he's going to do it with 8th graders and freshmen, and then just keep going. They've created this plan where they will get 2 years of it starting next year.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's kind of been a bittersweet because I'm so glad it's spreading, but he and I didn't work incredibly well together. So I'm not partnering with
Oh, I remember that, right.
But it's still awesome that that's happening in the community.
Definitely. Any other, what's next? What?
So I have to actually do my project.
Yeah, there you go. That's what's next for you.
I mean, it's coming up pretty quick.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it is. So we got Christmas, Christmas, and then New Year's, and we have holidays all those days. New Year's Days is a holiday, and then 2 days later,
here you are.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
I want to take Allison's example and connect with the high school skills classes to do some of our things. I was even thinking about this because I've been making these big chess pieces, and Allison knows this, but I wish I would have just thought, you know what? The 3D printers at the high school, they could program these things. You know what I mean? Like, I just need to start thinking in that way.
Definitely. That's awesome.
Because then it gets them involved.
Yeah.
But I love how you did that, Allison, on your story walk. I love that. Because then they're so proud of it too. And they know they have a tie to the library. And they know they did something amazing.
And they have a tie to the community, right? And so, like, it's really cool. So I'm going to stop this share for a moment and switch to a different share. Hold on, I want to share something, a different screen, and then I have a couple of more slides too. But let's see, it's this. So one of the things that's what's next for me and this project is that I'm starting to take all the things that cohorts 1 and 2 have developed, and I'm putting, has anybody used Airtable? I'm sort of addicted to Airtable right now. Airtable is, and I'll show you how it works in a second. But so
how do you find these software?
Right, I know.
That makes sense what I'm saying.
Airtable, somebody just, well, not somebody, a few months ago, someone used it for a project and was like, oh, I need to use Airtable. And I finally, this and something else I'm doing, I'm finally starting to use it. So, but what I'm doing is I'm adding them to Airtable, and this is one of the views. So you see, and it's a gallery. So you see, this is NISA's, I think, the YA books to promote equity. And so you can upload it, the file. You can, I've decided what it's going to include. So it uploads the file. I'm categorizing them and a description. And then if I click on it, like you can see it more. And then you can even go to the actual thing. So if I click on this, it will take me to it, and then I can open it up. I'm not going to, there we go. It's opening it in box. So, I have so that's one thing. And then I'm also, so here's how I'm entering it. So here's the different resources. I just started literally yesterday. Here's the different resources and the category. So the title, the type, the description, who created it, where you're from, and then the actual attachment. And then I'm also doing one that is, let's move the links and things people have shown. So this is the gallery view, and so I'm adding all of the links. And this is the grid view. So you see that again. I just started, but I have two or three things. One is, if there's stuff you have that you haven't uploaded to either Google Drive or the HQ, be awesome to have it, because then I can add it here. And the thing is that we can embed it on a website. So once this is done, or even now, I can embed it on a YALSA website, and people can start accessing stuff outside of the cohort, if that's okay. And then two is, as I keep adding, it will just continue to show up. So if I were to, so when I'm going to add them, I'm going to do the, when I have put it on the YALSA website, I'm going to do this view so people actually see little cards as opposed to that table.
That's
so
exciting.
That's one. Yeah, it is exciting. So that's one thing. But the other thing is I don't know if these are, I think, all the categories. Maybe not. We can see all the categories, but I don't know if all of these categories, like if I've hit everything, if there's things I should include. So like there's definitely book lists, there's flyers, there's handouts, sort of planning stuff. I don't know what else to call it. Press releases, evaluation, there's surveys people did. Vicki has a survey, I think. And then the outlines that you have for programs. And then anything PR-y outside of a flyer, like Allison, Abby, the newspaper article I thought would go in there. But are there other categories? And I know you can think about this because this is last minute, but if anybody thinks about anything that could be categorized, or if you have stuff to add, I would love to have it.
Is this something we can access?
You mean which way? To add to? Or to...
No. So when it's posted on the website, we can?
Yeah,
okay.
You can access it. And what I can do actually at this point is I can embed it in HQ now too, so that you can access it through there. So I'll put it in the community of practice. And then as we add to it, I can do that. We have to, because through the IMLS grant, we have to post resources from this project. So I've been putting it off for a long time, and I'm finally doing it. Other questions?
That whole question of what have we learned the most or enjoyed the most?
Yep.
I personally, every year, love that you, like, I had no clue what Airtable was or Slack or all these things. So I'm really enjoying being able to learn about different apps and stuff that I can use here in the library to help kind of streamline a lot of stuff. So
well, that's good.
I appreciate it's like YALSA has a big bag of cool things and you keep pulling something out on it.
You've got a Mary Poppins bag.
Yes. All kinds of cool apps.
Yeah, well, Airtable, if you start to use Airtable, it's the things it can do is amazing.
That would be a cool way to like organize grants and different things that I need. Letters and stuff. Like, it's neat. I like
absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I'm just trying to reshare. It's taking a second, the slides, because I want to go, come on, load all the way, because we're running out of time. So hold on, you've seen all these. Can I just do it down here? Yes, I think I can. Yes, all right. Did that. What's next? So, congratulations. Yay!
Thank you.
And there you all are. Yay! And thank you for everything you've done, because you all worked really hard. You worked really hard to do this work and participate in these Zooms and do everything. So really appreciate all that you did for this. And we're not done. I'm still going to check up on people.
You're amazing, Linda. You've done so much.
You've done all the work. I haven't done anything. You've done all the work.
We wouldn't be doing it without you.
And I just keep Airtable and Slack. I just find those things. What? Go ahead.
How long will we be able to access the COP?
Forever. I mean,
so we can continue to post.
Yes, you can continue to post. We're also supposed to make some sort of public COP after this, but I haven't figured out how to do that. So I know how, but I just don't know the best way to like bring people in this conversation who haven't been a part of the conversation, right?
Maybe Bailey's post would have some insight on that, since her supervisor is now seeing the COP as third eyes.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Third and fourth eyes.
Yeah. Because I've also been trying to creating just a new group that's for public talking about this topic.
That's so cool.
It'll be a little challenging.
I have to jump on another meeting.
All right. Yes. Well, but
I'm happy to see you guys.
Yeah, happy to see you too. And don't forget final reports, and don't forget to finish posting stuff. Bye, everybody.